What does
We're
this mean?
live.
Oh, whoa!
That's
Hey!
it. There's no warning shot this week.
Screw it.
We're just starting live. We're starting hot
Hot off the press. 9:15 on the dot.
on the dot, and we were in the middle of talking about Mary Poppins and whether or not Mary Poppins and Bert had a history.
There had to have been something, because like they're too friendly with each other.
Yep.
And she's a little annoyed.
Let's.
And that's the only relationship I know where like I'm friendly with a woman and she's a little annoyed is my wife.
And you guys have a history.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Poppins and Bert. Will they? Won't they? Did they?
Uh-oh.
There we go. Welcome to the show. This is where we're starting. And I will leave that up until the Francis get here and answer the question.
I mean, because like everybody, like in the Step in Time dance. You remember this dance? You said you watched it 3 months ago.
Yeah, I watched Mary Poppins for the very first time, like over Christmas. It was longer ago. It was Christmas.
And we are presently watching it like very slowly over the course of like our like nighttime ritual is like half an hour of like a movie and then like we're reading until bed. And we've been watching Mary Poppins this week. And the Step in Time dance was tonight, and she just like is dancing with all of these chimney sweeps.
Mm-hmm.
And like is this her thing? Like she comes from the sky and like spends time with the street people when she's not nanny? They're not street people. They're the working class.
Yeah, they're the working class. They have jobs.
Yeah, the proletariat.
Chims. I off the air right before we went live, I said I think Mary Poppins one time decided to go below her lot in life and maybe hooked up with Bert. And he fell in love forever. And she was like, I got that out of my system. I'm good. Let's just go back to our magic nanny chimney sweep relationship. And he wants it to be more. He
wants to fly into the sky with her on her umbrella.
Yeah. Who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't? Julie Andrews is we watched last week. We were watching Sound of Music.
Yeah.
Solid. Fantastic.
She's Hall of Fame consideration as far as singing in wide open spaces in the sky on a mountain.
On a mountain. Yeah, she's good. I like Sound of Music. I like the song Edelweiss. We actually thought about naming Winnie that.
The show can begin.
Bill France, welcome.
That's awful and accurate and correct.
Okay, this is a children's show. No, it's not.
No, it's not. This is a show for adults after their children are asleep. This is a show for children to adults.
Because we don't have any other interests anymore other than our children, right?
Right. I don't know anything. I don't know, and then there's no sports on. I used to at least be able to do that and be like, I can watch sports ball. Rammel.
Yes.
We have been trashing books from the older generation.
Yeah, the old timies.
Mostly because they're trash. But in the interest of trying to balance the scales, trying to challenge ourselves, we've each chosen a book good from a simpler time. Would you like to go first?
Yeah, I'd love to go first, actually. That'd be great. This is my favorite old-timey book. And it's not really fair that I'm calling it old-timey because I think it was printed in 1968.
That counts.
Don Friedman. This is Corduroy. I would say probably the ancestor to Toy Story.
Oh.
You know.
All right.
Corduroy is a bear who once lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things. but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. Then one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said, "look, there's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He's lost the button to one of his shoulder straps." Of course, this was in a time when toys weren't mass produced, and there was
Like was made by a person.
right, and there was just one of a toy at the department store. Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. "I didn't know I'd lost the button," he said to himself.
Mhm.
"I'll go and see if I can find it." Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he had stepped onto an escalator, and up he went. "Could this be a mountain?" he wondered. "I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain." He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there, before his eyes, was the most amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. "This must be a palace," Corduroy gasped. "I guess I've always wanted to live in a palace."
You have a good dumb bear voice.
Thanks, I've practiced. He wandered around admiring the furniture. "This must be a bed," he said. "I've always wanted to sleep in a bed." And up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. All at once he saw something small and round. "Why, here's my button," he cried, and he tried to pick it up. But like all the buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. He yanked and pulled with both paws until off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled. Bang! Into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash.
Oh boy.
Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was going his rounds on the floor above. When he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator. "Now who in the world did that?" he exclaimed. "Somebody must be hiding around here."
That's excellent.
Thank you. He flashed his light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all, and there he saw two fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. "Hello," he said. "How did you get upstairs?" The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and dolls.
Fucking cops.
All cops are bad. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning, and there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I've saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." "Shall I put him in the box for you?" the saleslady asked. "Oh, no, thank you," Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight to her own room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like the enormous palace in the department store. "This must be home. This must be home," he said.
Yeah.
"I've always wanted a home." Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. "I like the way you are," he said, "but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened." "You must be a friend," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted a friend." "Me too," said Lisa, and gave him a big hug.
Adorable.
Come on, give me a break. That's great.
And I love the 60s. There's a 60s feel there.
Oh yeah,
The girl's dressed like Jackie O. Like,
right.
Yeah,
and like it's so simplistic. I love this like image of this room because it's like she wants a bear. She doesn't have any toys. There's no other toys here. She needs one. This little girl is 100%.
It is a precursor of Toy Story.
Oh, for sure.
Did you watch as a kid a movie called The Christmas Toy?
No.
Oh my God. First of all, like I watched this movie on repeat until I was like 4 years old, and then never saw it again until like 3 years ago on the internet. And was like, oh my God. But it starts with Kermit the Frog, like dressed as Santa, being like a narrator. Like, so it's a Muppet movie, but Kermit the Frog is like, I'm Kermit, you know me, and you're about to watch a bunch of Muppets you don't know. So like he like, it's like produced by Dre, but like he's in it, you know. But it's about toys that come to life. It's like it almost is literally Toy Story. And I think I heard that they bought it, like or like Toy Story morphed from some like reboot of this version of but it was a live action Muppet style with toys that come to life when the kids aren't there. Except it was a little darker. Like one of the toys got seen.
Oh,
and once that happens, like the toy dies.
No.
Like, yeah, it was.
What?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was dark.
Seen alive in this one, they die.
Yeah, it's just like, whoop, that's it. You're fucked now. You're garbage.
No, that's so scary.
Don't quote me on that, but I did. It's bad. Like something bad happens to like a clown. Like the clown stops being a clown, and then I think they have a funeral for the clown. I think they put the clown on a train, and like everybody's sad for the clown.
Have we had this discussion about how life comes about for toys in Toy Story?
I don't think we've had it on the air. You had a real problem with Forky.
Oh, 100%. Like sentience is a very important let me start over. A child can write her name on anything and it becomes alive. So any piece of trash.
No.
Okay, then what?
It needs to be a toy. The child needs to. First of all, it's created.
What about balls, man?
What?
Ball. Is a ball a toy? Yes.
No, there's that yellow bouncy ball that's in all the Toy Stories. It's just there.
But why is it not alive? With a heart and feelings and a life. It is so messed up, man.
Why is the Rubik's Cube not alive? The Rubik's Cube's not alive in Toy Story.
That's true.
It's like a puzzle thing. The Magic 8 Ball is not alive, although it has a sense of humor, it would seem.
Binoculars are alive. Remember the binoculars in number
they've got feet and eyes. It's like, look out, what are you? Like, it's so anything that's animal,
remotely like a human, remote creature.
I don't know. It never.
It's lucky that Slinky had a dog head and a dog tail.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's why there's no Slinkies. It's just the Slinky dog.
No,
and his middle, he can't do anything with.
I
wag his tail.
Believe the entire all through the 3 movies, and then the 4th movie came. Can't suspend disbelief with this one.
Yeah, that really bothered you. I was on the couch watching it with Lane, and like you were texted about it, and I like looked down at my phone, and was like, it doesn't bother me at all. You were like really bothered by it. And I was like, I never even crossed my mind. I thought it was clever. Once she makes a toy and writes the name on it, it becomes a living toy. And the toy is like trash. So like he thinks he's dirty.
Right. He knows he's garbage. He knows he's garbage. So my kid plays with any old thing, right? Mm-hmm. She sees something on the ground, a piece of string, some of my wife's hair, anything, and like she starts playing with it. That thing becomes alive.
No, if she takes that string and glues it to a stick and tapes that to a Lego and says, this is Stickman, and I'm going to write my name on it, then it becomes alive.
It's like that scene in RoboCop when the guy like comes out of the acid. It freaks me out. It makes me uncomfortable. Because he's like, I'm a living person.
You could be uncomfortable with it. I don't think it's the least. I don't think it's the most disbelief I have to suspend in the Toy Story franchise is that a fork comes to life.
No, but I mean, like, I buy the whole time.
It's not like the science was rock solid up until.
Okay, yeah, maybe you're right. You want to get your book good, and then we could.
I do. So I've never read this book until my adult years, and I love it. This is my book good. It is called Caps for Sale.
What year?
It is 1947.
40. Ooh.
47, renewed in 68. and renewed in like 92. That doesn't matter. But 1947.
Oh.
Look at that little 1947 Italian man.
It was our oldest book.
It is. So and I love it. It's great. So this is a book, good old, that bucks the trend of being terrible. Caps for sale. Here we go. Also, Lane loves it, which is a big part of it.
Mm.
Look at that guy. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First, he had on his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight as to not upset his caps. And along the way he went, he called, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap.
I like that song.
One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody even wanted a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. I think I'll go for a walk in the country, said he, and he walked out of town, slowly, as to not upset his caps. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. That's a nice place for a rest, thought he. And he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put up his hand to feel if they were straight. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on top. They were all there, so he went to sleep. He slept for a long time.
Oh boy.
When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. But
Uh-oh.
Before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checked cap. He looked to the right of him. No caps. He looked to the left of him. No caps. He looked in the back of him. No caps. He looked behind the tree. No caps. Then he looked up into the tree. And what do you think he saw?
What?
On every branch sat a monkey. And every monkey was a gray, brown, or blue, or red cap.
Okay, where's this guy living?
It doesn't matter. There are a bunch of French monkeys. Or maybe the Italian countryside. These might be Italian monkeys. It doesn't matter. I had the same thought. Suspend disbelief, Forky.
Okay.
The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He did not know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. "You monkeys, you," he said. This is my favorite. Lane kind of hates this part, but I lean into it harder every time. "You must give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, "Zzz, zzz, zzz."
Whoa.
This made the peddler angry. So he shook both hands at them and said, "You monkeys, you! You giving me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook both their hands back at him and said, "Zzz, zzz, zzz." Now he was quite angry.
Oh no.
He stamped his foot and he said, "You monkeys, you! You better give me back my caps." But the monkeys stamped their feet back at him and said, "Zzz, zzz, zzz." By this time, the peddler was really, really, very, very angry. He stamped both his feet and shouted, "You monkeys, you! You must have given me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped both their feet back at him and said, "Zzz, zzz, zzz." It's a fool's errand. No way to win.
Feel bad for him.
At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it on the ground, and began to walk away.
Oh no.
But then each monkey pulled off his cap. All the gray caps and all the brown caps and all the blue caps and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree.
Brilliant.
So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, and then the red caps on the very top. And slowly, he walked back to town calling, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. The end.
Brilliant.
It's great.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. I
It's
feel
so
like
cool.
I've read this book before.
Yeah, have you?
I feel like I like a first grade teacher like tried to give it, read it to us.
Paige said she loved it. I did not read it. I'd not read it till I read it to Lane. And then when I got to that reveal, first I was like, this is what I'm dealing with every day of my life with this child. It's like telling her she must do something and then her proving to me that she must not do it.
Yeah.
And then you finally learn to just quit. And quitting is the thing that solves it, that saves the day.
Well, monkey see, monkey do, right? So it's like that's the thing.
We've very recently started putting in reverse psychology into our daily routine. Where it's like, I don't think you can go potty all by yourself. So, yes, I can. Okay.
That's very good. She's been Winter's been getting pretty grumpy over here.
Oh yeah.
Past couple of days, I don't know why. There's no story there. I'm just venting.
There's a story there. I've just been shaking my fist at my kid. You better get in a good mood.
Kappa. Give me back my kappa.
All right, let's talk about the trash.
Oh boy, what do you got for a bad book?
So my book bad is more like a book really weird. I almost like it, but it's weird. So this is a book called The Rainbow Fish. Have you read this?
No. Is this old?
No. Well, according to this sticker, I'll have you know, 25 years.
Oh boy.
Of The Rainbow Fish, which was your first tip off that like this isn't a Caldecott medal. It's just a sticker that says I wrote this book 25 years ago. Which, if you're around long enough, everybody gets a medal.
Hey, that's life, yeah.
1992. Not bad per se, but it's in my book weird, quirky. It's got issues, but
is it like Pow Pow Fish?
I liked the Pow Pow Fish, so no.
Oh, okay.
You mean a really great book?
No,
with a bad message.
I mean a bad book with bad message and.
Nope, not like that at all.
Okay.
All right, so check this out. So first of all, you can see this. That's the cool part of this book is that this is all shiny.
Color. Yeah.
It's all that like iridescent shit. So that's working overtime. Okay. A long way out in the deep blue sea, there lived a fish. Not just an ordinary fish, but the most beautiful fish in the entire ocean. His scales were every shade of blue and green and purple, with sparkling silver scales among them. So he's a pretty fish.
He looks good.
Yeah. Look at these other dopes. I don't look at anything, but they're dum-dums. Okay. The other fish were amazed at his beauty. They called him Rainbow Fish. Come on, Rainbow Fish, they would call. Come and play with us. But the Rainbow Fish would just glide past, proud and silent, letting his scales shimmer. So the Rainbow Fish is kind of a dick.
Yeah, he's a little arrogant. He's just flashy.
Little Mick Jagger.
Sure.
He's the Mick Jagger fish. One day, a little blue fish followed after him. Don't ever meet your heroes, kid. That's what you're going to learn right now. Rainbow Fish, he called, wait for me. Please give me one of your shiny scales. They are so wonderful, and you have so many.
Wait, you want one of your shiny scales? Give me a piece of... Okay.
Save that thought for the end.
Okay, I will. Will do.
But yes, that was the request. Give me some of your skin so I may wear it on my face. You have so much of it. You want me to give you one of my special scales? Who do you think you are? Cried Rainbow Fish. Get away from me.
What a jerk.
Yeah. Shocked, the little blue fish swam away.
Oh.
He was so upset, he told all his friends what had happened. From then on, no one would have anything to do with rainbow fish. They turned away when he swam by. Good.
That is good. Oh, sure.
This is a weird sequence for me because it's repetitive and unnecessary. What good were the dazzling, shimmering scales with no one to admire them? Now he was the loneliest fish in the entire ocean. One day he poured out his troubles to the starfish. I really am beautiful. Why doesn't anyone like me? I can't answer that for you, said the starfish. But if you go beyond the coral reef to a deep cave, you will find the wise octopus. Maybe she can help you. And that's it. That's this thing's job is to. So just go to the octopus. Do you know what I mean?
Like right in directly to the outer.
Yeah. Like we only talked to the star to tell him to go to the.
They had a quota on their,
It really feels like a page count thing. The rainbow fish found the cave. It was very dark inside, and he couldn't see anything. Suddenly, 2 eyes caught him in their glare, and the octopus emerged from the darkness. I have been waiting for you, said the octopus. The waves have told me your story. This is my advice. So, like, he explains it to the star, and then we fast forward it with the octopus. So just talk to the octopus. It doesn't.
Yeah.
This is just narrative. This is just me being like narratively nitpicky. This is my advice. Give a glittering scale to each of the other fish. You will no longer be the most beautiful fish in the sea, but you will discover how to be happy.
Are we just this? Okay, I'll say it at the end.
Yeah. Because I'm with you. I can't, the rainbow fish started to say, but the octopus had already disappeared into a dark cloud of ink. Give away my scales? My beautiful shining scales? Never. How could I ever be happy without them? Suddenly he felt the light touch of a fin. The little blue fish was back. Rainbow fish, please don't be angry. I just want one little scale. The rainbow fish wavered. Only one very small shimmery scale, he thought. Well, maybe I wouldn't miss just one. Carefully, the rainbow fish pulled out the smallest scale and gave it to the fish. We could talk about it now. They're attached, right?
They're part of him.
It's skin, right?
Yeah.
I've never skinned it.
Yeah, it's bad for them.
I would imagine you'd need that.
100%.
If I was like, Rammel, give me one of your eyelids.
No.
No, because it's on there, right? Like, okay.
Unless we're just assuming that the scale is a piece of clothing, right?
Maybe. So maybe this guy is wearing a shiny piece of armor.
Remember?
It's scales, though. That's not it. Because look at that. That's not armor.
It. Yeah, that's him. That's all.
That's like veinage. Anyway, carefully, the rainbow fish pulled out the smallest scale and gave it to the little fish, screaming in pain. Thank you very much, the little blue fish bubbled playfully as he tucked the shiny scale in among the other blue ones. A rather peculiar feeling came over the rainbow fish. For a long time, he watched the little blue fish swim back and forth with his new scale glittering in the water. The little blue fish whizzed through the ocean with his scale flashing, so it didn't take long before the rainbow fish was surrounded by other fish. Everyone wanted a glittering scale. The rainbow fish shared his scales left and right, and the more he gave away, the more delighted he became. When the water around him filled with glimmering scales, he at last felt at home among the other fish. Finally, the rainbow fish had only one shining scale left. His most prized possessions had been given away, yet he was very happy. Come on, rainbow fish, they called. Come and play with us. Here I come, said the rainbow fish, and happy as a splash, he swam off to join his new friends. The end.
I don't know how I feel about this book, because I agree that it's sort of like The Giving Tree. Kathy put down that it's think back to The Giving Tree. And I'm very pro Giving Tree. I do understand where this fish is coming from. It's like, I want to give of myself to the community.
Sorry, there's a bug in here.
No, it's okay.
Unrelated spaz attack.
You know? So
yeah.
It is nice to be able to like think of others and not just think arrogantly of yourself. That's a good lesson, I feel.
Correct. somehow it misses the mark for me though, because it's like everyone loves me. So it starts with a rock star vibe. Like everyone's really into me, but I'm not into anyone. Bill, buckle up. Everyone's into me, but I'm not into anyone, right? Because my skin is awesome. I have glow skin, and don't you wish you had it?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? Rip off my skin and give you some? Idiot. I like that the instant karma of like you're a dick to a kid, and then that kid tells everyone, and everyone's like, no, let's not go see that Rainbow Fishers show anymore.
Right.
Good. At the end, it's like I also like the idea of giving and sharing, but it's this weird thing where like everybody showed up and was like, give me a thing, please. And then they did. And then they're like, now we are friends.
Yeah. I don't like that. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
Where so it doesn't feel like he learned a lesson, but his lesson was just give out your shit, like give away to stuff, and then which I'm pro socialism, so it's a very socialist message.
Right.
But I don't like how it reads.
He was kind of bullied into it as opposed to him coming
Yes.
Right.
It's not like he saw a fish that needed help and he was like, I have plenty of fish food and I want to share my fish food with you. It's like, I want one. Oh, okay. And like, cool, let's go play.
It's something that's like not expendable. Like it's his body, which is bizarre. Like it could have been a fish food thing, or it could have been like pebbles. I don't know. Like he like wore this glorious seaweed or something.
Yeah.
But no, it's very weird.
Now I need to Google whether or not like fish lose scales, like how we lose skin cells. Like maybe they just lose scales all the time.
Maybe that's a thing.
Maybe you could just pick one off and be like, here you go. This doesn't hurt. It would seem like it would hurt. I would not pick a scale off of a pet fish of mine. That would seem rude and also very complicated to accomplish.
I don't know if they do. I'm trying to think of science. Of like
somebody Google whether or not I'm not gonna Google it. I'm just gonna type it into this. Somebody Google if fish can lose their scales, please. No, I'll just put that up. And then just tell us.
What was the last fish you ever ate?
Me?
Yeah, you.
We grilled salmon yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
We did a little baked salmon on Sunday.
Yeah. That, and then before that, I don't know. We do salmon like every so often. Like we'll grill salmon or what?
Fish is so good.
It is. It's good for your brain.
Is it?
I don't know. I think so.
It's the most animal that is mentioned in books that we eat.
It's what?
In children's books. I feel like it's the one that we like eat the most, but they're like characters in books.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like there's a lot of kids books about fish, but not about like cows, is what you're saying.
Yeah. There's not a lot of main characters that are cows.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Also, it's one of the ones that like I understood from an early age that like fish was a fish and we eat fish, but it took me like way late until to realize that like a burger was cow. I was like, no, it's not. It's
really?
A burger. Like I didn't understand where the cow went if I ate the cow.
I feel bad because we've like introduced like Winnie eats chicken obviously because we eat chicken, and so we say this is bok bok, and she knows that it's bok bok, and she outside of her grandma's apartment is like a school, and they have chickens.
Yeah,
they're just hanging out, and like she says, it's like let's go see the bok bok. So she knows.
Yeah, we called it baka baka. We called it baka baka, and I don't remember who started it.
Baka baka.
She started or we started it, but it was this thing of like, want some baka baka?
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I don't remember if it was easier or harder to give her chicken that way, because I think a chicken was still a chicken, but the food became baka baka, and it was like you didn't need to connect the two. That like you were eating the thing that is also your bath toy that says baka baka.
Maybe she hasn't made the connection yet. That's the thing. That
Yeah.
is a.
I still skip over. I skip over like words in books like dead or kill. I don't. She's getting really smart, and like anytime a villain, we call it crash. So like anytime a villain falls, it's like, did he crash? Like, yep, he crashed. Like that's what happens. Like villains crash. But like I don't want to.
Like Gaston crashed. Or
yeah, Gaston crashes. And it's like, well, where is he now? He's just crashed. He's just down there, still crashed.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to explain other things yet.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope she doesn't make that connection. It's hard to eat meat when you can see the face of the animal.
Fish is very weird because fish is wildly different than any. Yeah, like at no point would I be served a cow head on a plate with like the
right.
Like I'll just have some brisket, but the cow head is still here with an apple in it for.
Well, we don't eat like a full salmon with like a face of a salmon.
No, we don't either. But like, you go to like restaurants or like I feel like an Easter buffet and like here's like a big fish for no reason.
Yeah, for sure. It's like a Greek or Italian thing, right? Like big.
Right. Also, like I couldn't butcher a cow. Like as I'm gonna have to learn because we're coming up on the end of the world. But like,
yeah.
Like if I had a cow, I'd be like, I don't know which part is the. But a fish is all of it. You just cut off the head.
Yeah.
Rip off the thing, and then you're like, this is all fish. The rest of it's just fish.
You gotta take out the insides, though. Still.
Nah, I don't think so.
What?
I don't know. You probably you just cut it in half. But that's the point. You just make one. Cut it hot dog way.
Cut it the hot dog way.
Shake it out.
What?
Scoop out. Get like a pumpkin scoop. I've never done this to a fish either. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just lessons for the end of the world.
What I was gonna ask, what does Lane not like to eat?
Lately, anything we give her.
Oh boy.
But she does. She likes it all.
She does like it all.
It's just she just doesn't. It's just I don't think I like this. I was like, yeah, yes, you do. This is one of the 6 foods you do like. We've been trying to push her to try foods, but Paige came up with the idea of stop using the word try.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where it was like, because she'll start asking now like, but what if I don't like it? And we have to remind her that like she loves like new foods in her diet now are like hot dogs, pizza. There's like a lot of new things that we tried that she loves and asks for, and it's like, remember, like you tried that at some point.
Right.
Now you eat it all the time. So I she just tried a cheeseburger. I'm like, I promise you are going to like this. Like I've seen you house a hot dog, and that's fake. Like, I promise you are gonna like this beef and cheese on bread. And she did, but it was like it was an ordeal.
Oh man.
Does Winter not when she was Winter's age, she pretty much ate anything we put in front of her.
Yeah, that's what's happening now. And I think I'm worried like our good luck is gonna like run out. Because as far as I know, I mean I don't think I was very picky, but I know that my brother-in-law was very picky.
Okay.
What I've heard. And so that like maybe it's gonna like end up being like this is the wide like spectrum of food that we eat, and that whoosh, it's like chicken nuggets and hot dog suddenly. That's it.
I gotta tell you, man, I've been to restaurants. I've gone out during restaurant week. I've spent way too much money on food.
Yeah.
At this point in my life, there is nothing that tastes better than a cold leftover chicken nugget that I eat on the walk from her chair to the sink, where I just like just house that nugget. I'll watch her play with it. I'll watch her like she's sticking her finger in it, like she's like making a dance, and I'm like, this is disgusting. That's disgusting. This chicken nugget's filthy. I'm gonna eat it though. It's fantastic.
Sometimes my wife after dinner will be like, do you wanna give her a bath, or do you wanna do the dishes? And obviously the dishes are like the worst like job, but I'll take the dishes job so that I can just house whatever food that she's like used to eat.
Like, I don't know what. Wait, hold on. What you have for dinner today?
Whichever
Yeah, I'll do dishes. I'll do dishes.
Over a sink.
Mac and cheese? Wait, was it new mac and cheese or was it from yesterday? It's from yesterday. I'll give her the bath.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
It is a weird. Do you know what it is? I'm an adult. I can do what I want. I buy my own groceries. I would never sit down to a plate of chicken nuggets. We have 600. We have a 10-pound feed bag that we get from Costco of nuggets. That's just like, it's just a sack, and there's like 400. We can spare them, Rammel. I could sneak them, even if Paige was like, "Don't eat those nuggets. Those are for Lane." I could lift 25 off the top. She would never know. But then I just like, there's something so trashy good about chicken nuggets, and I would not just sit down and be like, I'm gonna microwave 10 of these for myself because I don't know why. I'm depriving myself.
It only ever happened. You're right.
That's absolutely right.
That's correct. Absolutely.
I when I'm making her food, when I'm microwaving her nuggets, like I would be like, how many does she eat? And Paige would be like 4. I'm like, oops, I threw 7 on the plate and hit start in the microwave.
Bad at math, this one.
She's like, you can put them in the fridge. I'm like, not these ones.
No, I don't think so.
Fired yesterday.
Already been radiated. It's just on the plate. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I do my?
Yeah. Let's land this plane.
Okay. Let's look. I'm doing Harry the Dirty Dog.
What? Hold on, I gotta show it. There it is.
Yes. Let me find out. 1956. 1956.
We also have this book. We read this book quite a bit, and I have similar feelings. Let's see what you got.
We read it a little bit more when she was younger, and now it has sort of come out of rotation. But here we go. Harry was a white dog with black spots who liked everything except getting a bath. So one day when he heard the water running in the tub, he took the scrubbing brush and buried it in the backyard. Then he ran away from home.
I mean, what an act of rebellion.
I mean, like, such an overreaction. Like, this guy didn't want to take a bath, so he like hides the thing that like is gonna like that cleans him, and then leaves,
and then runs away from home, which renders the first act completely redundant.
He played where they were fixing the street and got very dirty. He played at the railroad and got even dirtier.
Good Lord.
I do like this book because there's lots to look at. There's quite a bit. He played tag with the other dogs and became dirtier still. He slid down a coal chute and got the dirtiest of all. In fact, he changed from a white dog with black spots to a black dog with white spots. Although there were many other things to do, Harry began to wonder if his family thought that he had really run away. Well, you did, because you did run away at the beginning.
What do you mean, really? You ran away.
You ran away. At the beginning, it said he ran away.
Yeah. It
Like,
didn't say
it's just like
he buried his brush and pretended to run away.
Yeah.
No, he ran away.
He felt tired and hungry too. So without stopping on the way, he ran back home. When Harry got to his house, he crawled through the fence and sat looking at the back door. One of the family, this is very annoying because it's clearly the son. One of the family.
This almost reads as a note to the illustrator. I don't know. One of the kids.
Somebody.
One of the family.
Out and said, "There's a strange dog in the backyard. By the way, has anyone seen Harry?" This is the crux of why this is a bad book. Okay? Look at this dog. Look at the cover. If this was your dog and he was covered in soot like this, you would be like, "That's my dog. He's covered in soot."
There's my dirty dog.
There's my filthy dog. But this little kid is like, there's a strange, weird dog here. But anyway, has anyone seen our real dog?
Look at this dog, roughly the same size and shape as our own.
Right. Ah, paper. When Harry heard this, he tried very hard to show them he was Harry. He started to do all his old clever tricks. He flip-flopped, and he flop-flipped, and he rolled over and played dead. He danced and he sang. Arr! He did these tricks over and over again, but everyone shook his head. Everyone shook his head, which is an insane sentence to say. They mean that like they all just shook their head, but everyone shook his head. What does it mean? Everyone shook his head and said, "Oh no, it couldn't be Harry."
Everyone shook their head is technically grammatically incorrect. I got into a fight about this my senior year of college.
Really?
Correct. Yes. Now,
everyone shook their head. Everyone.
No, everyone shook his or her head.
Everyone is a word.
But everyone shook his or her head is the correct, clunky, terrible, awful English. Dude, I was in the same camp where I'm like, no, everyone shook. You can use they. Now, by the way, like this was 10 years ago, and now like I'm not talking about pronouns.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking about like on paper. Where I was like, you can say they instead of his or her. And it's like, no, you'd have to change the sentence to say they all shook their heads or everyone shook his or her head.
But everyone refers to plural, right?
But what you're saying is every singular person shook his or her head. But
it's not two words. It's not every one. It's everyone.
But it's everyone. I'm almost positive I
hate language.
Yes, I remember hating this so much that I'm almost positive this is the correct. Like you would say, everyone shook his or her head, even though in conversation, in 99.9%, you say, yeah, everybody shook their heads. But it's subject verb agreement.
Language. Yeah.
I remember it's that or something else. I don't know. I have an English degree. I barely got one. All right, go ahead.
Harry gave up and walked slowly toward the gate, but suddenly he stopped. He ran to a corner of the garden and started to dig furiously. Soon he jumped away from the hole, barking short, happy barks. He'd found the scrubbing brush, and carrying it in his mouth, he ran into the house. Up the stairs he dashed, with the family following close behind. He jumped into the bathtub and sat up, begging, with the scrubbing brush in his mouth, a trick he certainly had never done before. "This little doggy wants a bath," cried the little girl, and her father said, "Why don't you and your brother give him one?" Oh, we're indicating who's speaking now. That's good.
There you go.
Harry's bath was the soapiest one ever had. It worked like magic. As soon as the children started to scrub, they began shouting, "Mommy, Daddy, look, come quick. It's Harry, it's Harry, it's Harry," they cried. So they gave, this is what makes me crazy about this book, is that they gave a strange dog a bath.
Sure.
Like under the pretense that like it's like, oh, this dog wants a bath, so we must give him one.
Like we've lost our dog. We found a different dog. And instead of look for our dog, we're going to give this quick stranger a bath.
"It's Harry, it's Harry, it's Harry," they cried. Harry wagged his tail and was very, very happy. His family combed and brushed him lovingly, and he became once again a white dog with black spots. It was wonderful to be home. After dinner, Harry fell asleep in his favorite place, happily dreaming of how much fun it had been getting dirty. He slept so soundly, he didn't even feel the scrubbing brush he'd hidden under his pillow. The end.
Classic. Yeah, it's just like that's suspension of disbelief. like your dog, you know your dog's bark, and you know your dog's tricks, and you know your dog.
Are they being coy though? That's the thing. If they're being like, "Oh, whose dog is this? Whose dirty dog is this?"
No, because by the way, have you seen our dog? Have you seen Harry?
Right.
One of the family said.
Oh, you're right. One of the family.
It doesn't matter who. It's like they hadn't decided who was in the family until they got to the next page. And this was back at the time of typewriters, so we couldn't go back and erase it. I was like, don't worry about it. One in the family. I'll nail it. I'll nail the details out on page 26. Yeah, it's I always thought it was stupid. It's stupid.
It's not very good, but I mean, like, she liked it when she was a baby, but now as a grown lady, she's not very
young adult. If I painted your cat blue and you walked in the door, the first thing you would say is, "Why is my cat blue?"
Right.
You wouldn't say, "Where's my cat?
Where's my cat?
Blue cat."
No, I wouldn't.
We lost our cat. First things first, I'm going to give this blue cat a bath.
There's a lot of, this is why I think that old boomer children's books are like harder to read now, is that there's no element of realism that is not grounded in any sort of realism.
Right.
They think that like children, maybe they thought children were stupider back then, or
no, for sure.
They had like this idea about children that was like, oh, they have this like fantastical idea of how the world works. So like, let's just write about that. But like, I mean, like, obviously, like a child would know whether their dog was just dirty or whether the dog was clean.
It was always one of my favorite improv rules. And like, I'm watching it with Lane where like, no kid thinks they're a kid. And no kid thinks they're stupid. So nobody would ever be like, I don't know, I'm just a kid. Like, Lane tells me with confidence crazy shit that is not true at all. You know what I mean? She'll be like, oh yeah, yesterday we went on an airplane. I'm like, no, we did not.
Right.
But her answer is not like, I'm just a kid, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
right, yeah. In here, it's like, oh well, children don't understand that a black dog with white spots is different than a white dog with black spots.
How could we trick an idiot kid? I bet if we rub some dirt on their dog, they would think their dog ran away. This is also there, that there is this little element of like,
yes,
good old Whitey's home.
Oh, thank God my white dog is home.
I was about to call the police on this black dog. What's this dog doing here?
But I mean, like, there's like, yeah. I like old books, and like, there's definitely one that I want to look over next week that Anna hates. I mean, this isn't old because it's like 1990, so I'm saying old. It's like, it isn't like these modern books with like really great art or anything. I want to look at this book, and
while I type this special message about next week's show.
Oh yeah,
guest. What?
Guest? Huh?
What does guest mean?
Guest?
Now this will help clear it up. Guest?
That's good.
Next week we might have our very first guest. You might know him as the midday host on The Mix.
Oh, I did not need to know that his middle name was Andrew.
I don't think it is. It is. I'm pretty sure it is. I think it's definitely his dad's name. So next week we're gonna try this with more dads of daughters. That's the
oh my gosh, fathers of daughters.
Tell Carly to take a nap, Bill, so she can stay up late enough to watch this.
Oh, Carly goes to bed so early.
I know, she needs to stop that shit.
Should we move back to Friday?
What's the book? We can move back to Fridays. I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean,
he's like, well, people are going to start doing things on Friday. And then we had like 5 Fridays where people did things, and now we're not going to do anything ever again.
Now we're trying.
So what's the book? What's this? You've just teased
Oh,
this awful
yeah,
book.
this book. So my wife detests this book, and I don't detest it. I also think it's a book bad, but I actually kind of enjoy it. It's called The Baby Blue Cat and the Smiley Worm Doll,
Whoa.
and it looks old. I
2004.
think it was 19. I think it's 1990. I'm pretty
Oh.
sure. Yes, 1990. First published 1990. She
Maybe
does.
we'll have to switch back to Friday to our new old time.
Are we going back? Are we going back to Fridays?
We'll figure it out.
We'll sort it out.
We'll call the 5 people who watch and just tell them when to do this.
My mother-in-law just said, "What?" in terms of doing this as a book bad, because I've got way more daughters.
You can have the week after, Jeff. You can come in after him. You have books, right? You read books?
Do you know how to read?
Yeah. Let's trash it. Why do you like it, or should we save this?
We'll save it. But I mean, like, I think that I've been holding on to this for a while now.
Okay.
I think it'd be
Good.
worth taking a look.
Good. My well is running dry. It's as long as I have the Disney 5-minute stories, I could.
Man,
we did this for years. Oh my God, Rammel! I watched tonight the Beauty and the Beast Christmas special.
Okay.
It is. I think it's what it's called. It's a movie, Christmas extravaganza or something. Speaking of spinoffs, I highly recommend, if you have an hour and 12 minutes of your life that you want to spend it regrettably, you need to get on this spinoff. It is a movie version of all. So it is a spinoff from Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
It takes place in the montage. Remember we talked about the montage that could have only been 36 hours?
Yeah.
It's a whole adventure that includes Christmas. So Christmas happened in that montage. And shit that was so significant that it's amazing that it didn't make it into the final cut of the original film.
Uh-huh.
You're like, this would have at least been in the montage. We would have at least touched on this. The fact that, like, there was an evil organ voiced by Tim Curry who tried to knock the castle down. Like, that would have come up. But it starts with Chip being like, "Tell me a story." Like they remember, like Cogsworth and Lumiere are like, "Do you remember the Christmas where I saved Christmas?" And it's like, "I saved Christmas." And Chip is like, "Tell me." And then we flash back to the story that took place 1 year ago.
Oh no!
Because they're humans. They're humans now.
They are human.
They're humans, right? And it's like, remember that one Christmas? And Chip's like, "Tell me about it." And then we flash back 1 year where Chip is a main character in the story. I'm like, bitch, you know what this is. You were in danger for a significant portion of it. Like, you don't remember this? And Mrs. Potts is just like, "I'll tell you a story, Chip." It also answers some questions and raises so many more about the timeline.
I mean, the timeline is crazy. If you try to squeeze in more into that, like, 3-day period where it snowed and then, like, now she's, like, in love with him.
Yeah.
Like,
this helps. This whole story takes place in those 3 days.
That's crazy.
And also it was Christmas.
Beauty and the Beast. What's going on at Disney?
Now or then?
I mean, anytime. Like, they're just making money and then being like, let's make more money.
I feel like the sequels lately are, well, because now the sequels are getting theatrical releases. This used to just be straight to home video.
Oh, yeah.
You would get it at Jewel. Like, it was like Bambi 3. Mom's still dead. Thumper's Return, or whatever dumbass story.
Aladdin 16, the genie's still here for some reason.
We watched. Have you watched any of the, like, Return of Jafar or the other one?
I was very familiar with Return of Jafar when I was a kid and Prince of Thieves, or King of Thieves, but yeah, not recently. I haven't watched any of it.
I recently watched it, having just watched Aladdin. Like, I cannot tell you the quality difference. Like, first of all, Aladdin is gorgeous. Gorgeous. like I'm gonna say camera work, knowing full well that it's animation, but like the sweeping animation moves in this movie are beautiful. Like I'm thinking about like Prince Ali when like the genie like blows the fire and it's like it's like a sweep across. You know what I mean? Like there's so much well thought out, well directed imagery, and then Return of Jafar is just like a side scrolling video Saturday morning cartoon the whole time.
Yeah.
The proportions are all wrong.
Oh no.
It's so that's what they used to be. It used to be like, oh no, we're gonna like outsource this.
Wasn't it Dan Castellaneta who does?
Yeah, is out for 2. He comes back for the 3rd one, but I haven't watched that one lately.
Really? He came back for?
Yeah, I think Robin Williams is back for King of Thieves or Prince of Thieves or Prince of Tides or whatever the fuck that one is.
The Rising Tide.
Robin Hood, Crimson Tide. Robin Hood. Aladdin 3. Robin Hood, Crimson Tide.
Oh man.
All right, cool.
Oh yeah, we've already talked about this. Mary Poppins.
Oh yeah.
It's good. Did we decide? Did we ever find out whether or not there's a thing going on?
Oh yeah. I'll throw it back up. Audience, where did I put that? Mary Poppins and Bert. Will they? Won't they? Did they? I think we got some firm. I think we decided. I decided that it happened once.
Yeah.
Last time. And it was the last time. So like the last time Mary Poppins was in this world, like maybe as like a goodbye, and then Bert's just been counting the days since. That's my
very thought. Uneasy about a hoity-toity nanny in the sky. For some reason, this is like the first time I've seen this movie. I feel like I've seen clips of this movie, but like I think this is the first time I've actually seen it.
It like there's that dream sequence in the middle that's like 4 days long.
Will they go into the painting?
Yeah.
Or the chalk drawing? Yeah.
Yeah, go to the chalk drawing and go to like it should be by modern standards, it should be like a 5-minute scene, and it is like 42 minutes of the movie is them in the park and on the carousel and walking with the penguins and doing that whole thing, and Bill reiterating. That's it.
I love Dick Van Dyke too. I love Julie Andrews. I love Dick Van Dyke tremendously.
Dick Van Dyke's in the new one.
He is.
Spoiler. Somewhere. Not gonna tell you where.
Does he play Bert?
I'm not telling you.
Hey,
watch it.
Watch the new Mary Poppins.
Go watch it. It's good.
All right.
Good enough. So, all right. We will see you all either in a week or on a week in 4 days. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Just be ready. Be constantly ready for this. Later, babies.
Bye-bye.